Ukraine's president says he's concerned that Wednesday's US-Russia summit will not produce concrete results and will leave his country in an uncertain position. NTD's Joanne Robson has more on this.
The Ukrainian leader on Monday said he seeks clarity from US President Joe Biden on the path for Ukraine to join NATO. This comes as Biden is set to meet his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin on Wednesday for this first time as president.
I would really like to get specifics, yes or no. We must get clear dates and the likelihood of this for Ukraine.
Ukraine sees membership as a vital deterrent against Russian aggression, while Moscow is strongly opposed since it would bring the alliance close to Western Russia. Zelensky argues that after being at war for 7 years, Ukraine has earned a NATO membership plan.
Every day we prove that we are ready to be in the alliance more than most of the countries of the European Union.
Ukraine has fought Russian-backed rebels in a conflict in the eastern Ukraine since 2014, which Kiev says has killed 14,000 people. After Russia massed tens of thousands of troops near Ukraine's border this year, Zelensky urged NATO members to accelerate Ukraine's entry into the alliance. Biden said on Monday that membership depends on Ukraine enacting necessary reforms and the members' vote. But he said the US will be supportive in the meantime.
We will do all that we can to put Ukraine in the position to be able to continue to resist Russian physical aggression.
Zelensky says he's concerned that the US-Russia summit will leave his country in an uncertain position. Biden has invited Zelensky to the White House next month. Joanne Robson, NTD News.
The United States and the European Union moved to end a long-running dispute over subsidies for aircraft manufacturers. This comes as US President Joe Biden meets with top EU officials. NTD's Eddie Aiken brings us more.
US President Joe Biden and EU heads agreed on ending a long-running dispute over airline subsidies, a major breakthrough in the US-EU relationship. Following a pair of summits with G7 world leaders in the UK and then NATO allies in Brussels, Biden met on Tuesday with two top EU officials.
We're reasserting the fact that it's overwhelming the interest of the United States of America to have a great relationship with NATO and with the EU.
The aircraft dispute saw tit-for-tat duties slapped on a range of companies that have nothing to do with aircraft production. It's a 17-year dispute over how much of a government subsidy each can provide for its aircraft manufacturing giant, Boeing in the US and Airbus in the EU. Both sides reached a deal to phase out over £8 billion in punitive tariffs over 5 years.
Agreement we have found now really opens a new chapter in our relationship because we move from litigation to cooperation on aircraft, and that after almost 20 years of disputes.
The UK, which was also involved in the dispute as a home to Airbus production, says it hopes for a similar deal within days. The two sides also discussed safely reopening travel and coordinating technology standards. Eddie Aiken, NTD News.
In a setback for big tech firms such as Facebook, Europe's top court has endorsed the power of national data watchdogs to pursue them. Joanne Robson brings us the latest.
The EU Court of Justice intervened in a case regarding Facebook's privacy settings. The social networking firm has been tracking users through cookies stored in its social plugins, whether they have an account or not. When the Belgian data watchdog tried to stop the practice, Facebook argued only Ireland could rule on the case. Facebook's EU headquarters are in Ireland, along with those of Google, Twitter and Apple. But the EU court decided on Tuesday that the Belgian watchdog does have the right to pursue the case. Many national watchdogs of EU member states have long complained that Ireland takes too long to decide on cases involving these companies. The new ruling may encourage national agencies to act against Facebook and other big tech firms. Joanne Robson, NTD News.
In Europe, phone apps can notify users if someone they meet has been diagnosed with COVID. This aims to fight the virus, but it also means people are being tracked. NTD's David Vivez meets with a political analyst, and here's his concerns.
For about a year, contact tracing technologies have been used in Europe to help slow the spread of the CCP virus, also known as novel coronavirus. While it allows people who've activated the application to know if they have been in contact with COVID cases, it also keeps track of people's movement. And the data collected is shared between countries. Another measure supporting this contact tracing system, the Health Pass, which allows people to travel within Europe. Political analyst Eric Verag says in Europe, the app and pass reinforce each other's population tracking.
The Health Pass is part of a strategy to track people from the European Union. Its objective is to get people used to being tracked. On April 29th, French President Emmanuel Macron implemented the Health Pass in France, saying it was his idea. By the end of May, the EU Commission suggested the sanitary pass should be implemented on European countries. We then understood this was one of the measures discussed by government leaders within the European Council.
The NIH cites a study by Oxford University that says around a quarter of people in the UK use the app on a regular basis. In France, the COVID app has been activated by 20 million users, according to government figures. As lockdown measures ease in France, the Health Pass, which works together with the application, will be mandatory to attend to certain places or venues. But this is raising concern about protecting people's privacy and personal rights. Verag says this is a part of the Great Reset agenda, a program written by Davos Forum leader Klaus Schwab and economist Thierry Malray, which suggests tracing populations internationally, and it mirrors the surveillance system of the Chinese Communist Party.
Schwab and Malray say there are tracing and tracking technologies. In China, people are being identified and stalked as soon as they go out on the street. This is tracking. Whereas tracing, as in Europe, means once people go out on the street, we want to be able to identify people they are in contact with, where they go, etc.
According to official sources in the UK and France, the more people use the app, the better it will work in preventing people from getting the virus. In France, no study so far has confirmed this. A UK study shows about 6% of those notified went on to get tested for COVID, a number in keeping with traditional contact tracing methods. David Vives, NTD News, Paris.
The one-year delay of the Tokyo Olympics has left some athletes down. But for others, it may be a blessing in disguise. A German canoe slalom world champion tells us about his ambitious training plans in his quest for Olympic gold.
Battling with white rapids, racing through gates marked by poles, the 32-year-old German paddler is surfing his way into this year's Tokyo Olympics. He is a world champion in canoe slalom.
My name is Hannes Eigner. My Olympic sport is canoe slalom. I want to win a medal at the Olympic Games in Tokyo this year.
For AIGNER, exercising on the clean local water is relaxing. But with a big goal set, it becomes more competitive as he pushes his limits every day. He is now on a rigorous training schedule in Bavaria, Germany. From Monday to Saturday, he has 2 sessions on water and 1 in the weight room every day. His gym routine is primarily to build up his upper body strength so that he can smoothly navigate the canoe against the rapids. Already a world champion and 2-time Olympic competitor, AIGNER is expecting a medal this summer.
It's a great feeling, even though it's now the 3rd time. That alone is a big deal, to be in the Olympic for the 3rd time. No German canoeist has ever achieved that. This is a great achievement, and I think I can somewhat be proud of that.
He says although the Olympics is rescheduled, it is a blessing in disguise for him. That has allowed him to stay with his family a lot over the past year.
Postponing the Olympic Games last year was a bit of a setback. It was frustrating. But I have a 2-year-old son at home and could spend more time with him and see things which I would have missed if I had been preparing for the Olympic Games in Tokyo.
Because AIGNER is a so-called sports soldier, the German military finances him. Most recently, he finished 11th place in the European Championships.
A rare seahorse was spotted at Plymouth Sound in the English Channel during a dive to monitor seagrass earlier this month. A video shared by the charity Ocean Conservation Trust showed a close encounter with a long-snouted seahorse, also known as a spiny seahorse. According to the trust, seagrass is an essential habitat for marine species, and the seahorse population is declining sharply due to its destruction. That's the news for today, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Stuart Lees.